If you had to start completely over today and you could only use one platform, what platform would it be?
I would use YouTube.
YouTube.
Why?
For sure.
YouTube is a longer term, higher leverage vehicle. On Snapchat, Snapchat's amazing. I love Snapchat. You can't do brand deals just because that's how the platform
Can't
works.
promote your own products.
For example,
It's fully curated and you're under their control.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, you're technically under their control too.
You have more freedom.
But you have to apply to work with Snapchat, and then you have to get your show approved, and then they can really seriously
I mean, dude,
they have way more control than YouTube. I mean, YouTube has full control, but they might be more
on the channel on YouTube we started 2 months ago. We got a bunch of videos limited.
But the thing with Snapchat that makes it like very, very good is the fact that these 3-minute videos are paying you as much as 8-9 minute videos on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But they're 3-minute videos on Snapchat. So the output, the amount of time and the amount of effort and expenses it takes for someone to run an operation on Snapchat would be less than YouTube, and you could have the same returns purely on an AdSense metric. But YouTube gives you a lot of other options.
So this is the thing. I will backtrack here and say Snapchat will pay more than YouTube for less effort, and that's why I love Snapchat.
Yeah.
YouTube, you can, if you start a Lego YouTube channel and it's like, oh, I want to go viral in the Lego niche, and then you do a Lego product attached to that.
Right.
That'll make 10 times more than your ad dollars
and then
for the
affiliate
backend.
to like
or
a
if
Lego
you do
thing.
a NordVPN sponsorship
funnels,
on YouTube and it pays you $10,000 for a 30-second
or you have a partnership with a brand that will pay you $100,000 for 3 videos and like work with you and your brand to make products. The leverage that you can get from YouTube, you could grow a 9-figure brand from directly just YouTube. This Katana company that Luke referenced earlier is growing an 8-9 figure brand directly from YouTube and organic ads.
To put this into perspective, I have a friend that started YouTube automation 8 months ago. He runs 6 channels, and I think they all have over 100,000 subscribers now, all on long form, and all can leverage brand deals and products. It's insane. Like it's truly a thing that people do. Just you don't hear about it because.
Are you using like AI tools for this at all?
No, we don't, but a lot of people do.
This is interesting. We tapped into this. I wanted to see if we could use GPT-4 API to sort of like replicate the scripts that we were writing, because the scripts that we write are an ultra specific process. Like when I see scripts and I review scripts, I'm like, no, this won't flow. People click off here.
I'm building this.
Okay, so this is already a thing that is being developed, and we tried building. I brought in developers to try to build this too. And I mean, maybe it's because we didn't have enough funding or didn't focus on it enough, but it just was not. I could not replace myself through AI at this.
Did you upload
moment.
all of your scripts
Yes,
into
we
it?
upload all the scripts.
A human
to
just
it,
like understands more from what we can understand.
This is the thing. People say that humans understand. AI will overtake, like this will be something that, like if you look future, and it's amazing that you're building this, or I don't know if it's actively like being built. AI,
it's not for YouTube, it's something similar.
AI will overtake human capability, and 100% it already has. And
for thumbnails, for example, Midjourney, which is an AI tool that people make thumbnails on, a bunch of the automation channels that my friends run, I'll just see all their thumbnails be Midjourney thumbnails, and these videos will have 5-10 million views on a 20-minute video.
My friend does the same thing.
It's taking over in that vertical, but
automation
in terms of like script writing and editing, very nice looking videos.
This is also script writing. We got it to a point where to the normal person, it would be completely passable. It's like, oh yeah, I literally showed it to some of our script writers, and they're like, oh, who wrote this? Like you cannot tell.
But it's the nuance.
But it's the nuance of like my creative thought, and this also could just be completely ego driven to where like it's the type of thing that I talked about before, where
you take pride in your work.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, the AI can't do as good as me, and this type of thing. Where there's gonna, dude, in a couple months,
in 6 months, it's
some sort of thing.
No way, it's not.
Yeah, 100%.
There's AI editing tools.
But I agree with you. Right now, it's
released.
still like
right now,
I want to be proud of it.
When I was
feel authentic,
I tried with multiple developers to tweak like how the intro works, whatever, and it just was not that good.
Yeah,
thumbnails though are taking over.
Midjourney is insane.
Faster than scripts and
editing. We use Midjourney for a couple of our thumbnails too. Like
I wonder how like because I can still kind of tell. I'm sure you guys can. It's a Midjourney thumbnail.
You can, yes.
But I feel like it might evolve to the point where you can't.
Actually, but it works for people,
or it becomes like way over.
I would argue if I'll show you some of the thumbnails after this podcast. You would not be able to tell it's a Midjourney thumbnail because of the aspects we use. Like literally, this is crazy. We ran a crime channel for a bit, and what I did was I needed a screenshot of like a girl sitting in like a cell, and I'm like, okay, how do I get this girl to sit in a cell? We could face swap it in Photoshop, but that always looks really wonky. So there's this plugin that I attached to Midjourney where I rendered a girl like sitting in a cell, like in the exact pose that I want to, orange jumpsuit to stand out for the colors for the thumbnail, and then I just face swapped her using the Midjourney, and it literally looks like it's a picture that a news anchor took of this woman sitting in a cell. It's like face swap something. I really can't remember. I just saw a thread about it on Twitter and I used it. And that's how we do a bunch of the thumbnails. Just generate the pose with Midjourney and face swap whoever you want.
What makes a good thumbnail?
Simplicity. That's the one word. If you looked at our thumbnails, it's literally just like
where can people look at your thumbnails?
Word.
We can share some just like on the screen, maybe.
You're gonna put my editor to work.
This is an interesting thing. I don't know. I don't really want to share too many of the channel names, but just like, I mean, you like, okay.
That's a fair statement because a ton of you MFers will just copy exactly what they're doing.
I shared the Slam Dunk name because we're barely uploading on the Slam Dunk channel anymore. You guys can copy Slam Dunk. There's been like
go ahead and copy it, please.
10 people have already copied it and hit 1 million subscribers. Like it's some, but perfect example of thumbnails. Like look at Colin and Samir's thumbnails. This is what I was talking to you about before. Like, why don't you do the Colin and Samir thumbnails on your podcast? And you were like, branding maybe, but they have really good branding too.
It's always branded, their thumbnails. It's always that yellow box with a person that they're interviewing and a little quote.
My only answer to that is that's exactly what Diary of a CEO is. That's exactly what Lex Fridman's is. That's exactly what, and maybe that's because it works.
It's because it works.
Totally get that.
But not even in that aspect though. There's a lot of like Mr. Beast thumbnails. It's always kind of the same style. His face takes up roughly 33% of the screen.
Watch Patty Galloway on this. Watch Mr. Beast videos on this.
Breakdowns, but it's just more your thumbnail. You want it to be simple. You don't want to pop up emojis and then a whole paragraph in your thumbnail. You don't want the title in your thumb. Like you just want it to be simple and appealing.
I have like 3 different things that come to my mind when I think of like how you would be able to do like a podcast thumbnail to where like
how about I let you guys make the podcast thumbnail for this episode and the title.
I'm down.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
100%.
And we'll test it.
If it gets 1 million views, then we get 50% of the ad revenue.
Let's do it. Easy.
Yeah, sure. That's amazing.
But what are the 3 things? Sorry.
No, anyway, it's just like
that was a good thought. That is
an amazing thought, by the way. This is like truly putting us to the test.
Okay, hell yeah.
Anyways, no, it's just like there's a bunch. Like I look at these thumbnails and on the Faceless channel that we have, it's a documentary channel. I don't know if I'm leaking too much, but we were looking at like, okay, what is the most successful? Like you look at Sunny V2 or these like big documentary channels, and then we're just like, okay, how can we do this simpler, more clickable, more standout? Like where are the colors in the thumbnail? It's the same thing of retention to where like 1,000 things plague my mind when
the color?
Think about it.
I've never understood the color theory.
Well, what do you mean by that?
If you're
color theory,
there's this thumbnail. Ryan Trahan has a thumbnail. Your editor is gonna have to be put to work. But Ryan Trahan has a thumbnail where he's sitting in a silent room and he's like this with his hands, and he's in a bright orange jumpsuit and there's nothing else in the room, and it stands out so much.
Yeah, you just see that.
Exactly. It's like that is the type of thing of like color theory when people talk about it. But also when I say color theory, I think about a bunch of these like gurus on Twitter that are like, oh my God, Mr. Beast color theory. It's so good.
The sky is blue. It
that's
makes
like
it
a 1%.
It's just like it's so dumb. It's one of those things to
it's
where
not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah, it's what makes a good thumbnail is just like simplicity, having people click on it. It conveys an obvious idea.
You look at it and you have a thought in your head.
And most concepts have been done on the platform already. Like most thumbnail concepts in the niches have been done. So what I would recommend for them to do is just to take a concept that they see and adapt it a bit, make it better, and try
every one of my thumbnails.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at another YouTuber in my niche and I'm like, I'll try that one.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the way to do it. It's just the same with a video idea or a channel niche. Like you see what works and you adapt it and make it better. It's the same with thumbnails. And with thumbnails, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to make people overwhelmed. And if you go and look at your YouTube homepage right now, you could probably spot 1 or 2 thumbnails that will stand out more than the rest. And you want to understand, why do these stand out more than the rest? Are these colors different from the average thumbnail that I'm looking at? Is their face bigger than the average person? Am I understanding what the title is better here? So there's just a lot of factors that you can put together.
What's hilarious too is sometimes when people have thumbnails that go ultra viral, like Rebound does a really good job of this, the channel that I worked at. They make like these crazy NBA Photoshop thumbnails, and it's just like great concepts. And then like someone will copy it and do that in the soccer industry, soccer niche, and then
the niche adjacent.
It just
keeps
working. Adjacent.
Like for example, he would copy like ideas but onto Fortnite for thumbnails and stuff, and they'd blow up on Fortnite because it was the same concept as a real life video.
The psychology of this concept works,
and it really works
universally.
So you can adapt a thumbnail from a different niche or different kind of video, but onto your niche and your concept. So like if someone does a really interesting Fortnite video that blows up, you could make that in Minecraft. It could go very viral because the concept of the idea works. So there's a lot of little things like that.
It makes a lot of sense. But I would say, like, I've had times where my girlfriend does my thumbnails, and we spent 8 hours like copying a Mr. Beast one. There's a video I did with Luc, and it was like a piece of art. We had Midjourney, all these different AI pieces, like brushing everything. Did horrible. And then I had one that took us 10 minutes. I put an arrow up on the left, arrow down on the right.
Simplicity is
Most
better
used video.
sometimes. Simplicity
Way better.
is better sometimes.
The thumbnail we spent the least amount of time on is my best thumbnail.
And I'm not gonna leak like obviously our channel, but our thumbnails are simple and they
Dude.
work.
I've seen that concept quite a bit.
If you look at
too.
our thumbnails, it is
So simple.
It obviously depends on the niche. Like if you're doing crime, there's a bunch of different stuff in it. If you're doing documentary, but the 1.2 million view video, it's literally face, word.
And those thumbnails, like if someone were to make it, would cost like $2. We pay a lot for these thumbnails because it's the idea of being able to think to make it as simple as that and as effective as that.
YouTube is a thumbnail title game.
100%.
Because if they don't click, they never watch.
Yes.
So how do you guys relate the title and the thumbnail together? What's your science behind that?
I mean, if we use this video, for example, when you're like, oh, you guys can make the thumbnail title, what comes to my mind is just like, you want something that is almost so unbelievable that the
But it's
person
true.
needs to click on it.
Yeah.
And then once you have that, once you get them to click, this is like the extension of that. You have to deliver on the expectation. So like for this podcast, we should do making $100,000 a month at 15, which is completely true. And we can deliver on that expectation. And you start the podcast, you're like, you either might get pissed off or whatever. And you completely deliver on the expectation, but it's a title that is so outrageous that people need to click on it. Mr. Beast does this all the time. He's like, $1 million private island giveaway.
Yeah.
Like there's no way a YouTuber's giving
But
away
he's
$1 million
giving
And
away
he
$1
does,
million
and then he does.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big thing now is on YouTube, a new feature that just released that Mr. Beast also talked about, and I don't know if you've probably seen it. When you're on your phone, and a lot of YouTube
The
viewers
first
are on
5
their
seconds,
phone, the video plays.
the autoplay, yeah.
So that's very important because people might not even see the thumbnail. They might just see the video. If it's at your top, what happens is I don't see the thumbnail.
This is the Colin Samir one, right?
Yeah, the video will just play. So it's very important for people to also have like good intro to videos. I talked to him about this.
So do I keep my intros or no? For this podcast, am I doing an intro for you guys? We jump
Yeah,
straight
maybe
into
make it visually appealing, the intro, and show like numbers on the screen next to my head or something like that.
To be
Like,
completely honest, for this podcast, I would have it
guys
completely
wanna
cut.
edit the intro?
Completely cut that. No, I would just do no intro. You just 15-year-old making $100,000 a month. Video starts. This will either piss you off or inspire
and then you asked us how
This
much you
kid is
made right
making-
after.
yeah,
Okay, so that was a pretty
exactly.
good tee up anyways.
It's perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's exactly how I would do it. You literally, once you have the expectation of like this 15-year-old is not making $100,000 a month, you
Yeah.
click on, if there's like a 30-second montage, this is not like knocking it 100% that some people will be like, oh, this is a sick fucking montage, because it is. But then when you press that and then you see this like 15-year-old kid that's making $100K a month, it's like, oh, my expectations actually deliver. What's going on here? And then you can watch for 30 minutes, 2
Like,
hours.
Not
whatever.
all my guests are that absurd, so I got to build the hype. If I'm wrong, I would love it because you'll save me 7 hours because I edit those intros myself.
Yeah,
and it
that's
takes
crazy.
me.
You want to try for this
forever.
episode to just not do it?
Well, this one makes sense. So perfect. I'm all
Yeah.
about it. Save me 7 hours. Thank you.
Cool.
No, yeah, there's a lot of little nuances now with YouTube and,
And
how to package things.
This comes back to the reason of why I don't want to sell a course about this, because we have this idea of like, okay, let's try on this episode, let's do the thumbnail, let's do the title, and then let's cut out that intro.
It might
This
be something
episode-
that's not
This episode
normal.
could get 10,000 views.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I have no fucking clue how many views this
Yeah,
is going to
it's
get. I think that this is better, but it's a thing of trial and error. Like we're not 100% sure, which is why I can't accurately sell a course.
And that's what's exactly reflects on us on our videos.
False belief.
We think we think something's really good maybe and it doesn't perform how we expect it to, but it does not matter because we know we're good. We'll just try again and go viral again. So like there's obviously points, for example, on Snapchat where we might not get as many views in a week because our content just wasn't as good. Next week it's our highest viewed week that month. So like it really, people shouldn't get disappointed when their videos don't go viral or when they don't really perform as well. If you kind of learn how the platform works and you generally have an idea of what you need to do, just keep attacking at it and you will hit. Like you'll hit 100%.
That's really good advice.
Just throw
It's-
stuff at the wall, something will
Every
stick.
video I have like anxiety and I'm like posting and it's like so hard not to take it personally. If it
I
doesn't
used to
work.
have that.
Yeah.
So when
Dude,
I
my anxiety was horrible.
when I uploaded on the Not Luc channel, the Fortnite channel, I literally got to a point where I'm like, oh, I don't want to upload. Like this is the video perfect, whatever.
Yeah.
And then now that we're uploading 15 videos a day, I do not care.
Same.
Like, it's literally like
And
just
it's not
upload the
you-
video.
It's not you as a person.
And
as well.
dude, you could
And the
ask him at
content.
the beginning in Snapchat, I would freak out every single day. Dude, our video isn't performing as well today. We're gonna go broke.
Dude, I would wake up. So I
Yeah.
go to bed 7 in the morning, wake up to a FaceTime from him at like 10, 11 in the morning EST. And he's like,
Yeah.
dude, the video's flopping. We're going broke. It's over. I'm like, dude, come on.
I would freak out, like I'd get immense stress. But
Yeah.
now I don't care anymore because I know like we have a machine running, the proof of concept is there, we have our formulas in place that took us a few months to build, and it's just gonna do its course, run its course, do its thing.
Yeah.
YouTube analytics might be the most addictive social media.
For
Like,
sure.
Dude, when
It's-
you get the
it's-
fireworks and the 1 out of 10,
oh,
my
It's
I'm
God.
like
amazing.
happy as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
You know-
taking my girlfriend to dinner, like just happy. So.
Where I am, they're seeing if they should remove, because when you get views down, it's the gray arrow down. It used to be a red arrow. They're seeing if they should remove that to like take away the mental stress of like having a video.
They're
float.
trying to
Please do
remove.
it, 'cause
They're
I'm
trying to
a
remove the
monkey.
1 out of 10 thing. Some people are saying they want the 1 out of 10 or the 2 out of 10 thing removed, and I think
Dude,
that's
I want the
horrible.
fireworks.
I think people should.
It's good for it's good to get you to work.
You
and
know,
to, like,
yeah, I
yes.
feel like people
Yes.
should see their 6, 7 out of 10s and think I'm a failure. I need to do this again.
But
do better.
Also, this comes into
It's just narcissism.
People tie their self-worth to how many views they pull. And
It's hard not
especially
to, bro.
When I was 15, in August of 2020, when I was 15, I pulled 50 million views in a month on long form on Fortnite. And then September 2020, I went back to school. I wasn't uploading as much. People are back in school,
Yeah.
whatever. And I got like 10 million views that month. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm a failure. What is going
the
on?
world is
But
versatile.
subjectively, like that's amazing.
10 million views
100%.
a long form is amazing, but it's because every single video I was uploading 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I'm like, damn, like I'm falling off. I
Dude,
lost the sauce. What
I'm
is it?
falling off. That's a
Yeah,
hard thought.
and on social
Yeah.
media, bro, it's so versatile. Like, it's so versatile. You can be on top of the world one day, and then 10 of your videos could flop in a row the next. And it might not be because you're just making worse videos. It just might be for any given reason.
the
So,
trend's dying.
like,
Yeah.
there's
the meta.
people can get so wrapped up, and I've personally got so wrapped up in like a little season where our videos won't perform as well. But now I've learned to be like, it's fine because
it's seasons. That's a good way to put it.
It's gonna go.
Seasons.
It's a seasonal business, okay, and it might not be an autumn business or December business, but it's seasonal in the fact that trends die. You have to adapt to the new trend, or concepts
good way
might
of
die,
putting
and
it.
you have to adapt to the new concept. So now I've learned not to get stressed anymore. I don't FaceTime him at 10, 11 a.m. anymore, freaking about our views. I'm more normal with it now, and if a video doesn't perform, be like, tomorrow's will perform well. If it doesn't,
Yeah.
the next day's will perform
Exactly.
well.
That's like really important, actually. I know
It
so many
is.
people who have like they've succeeded in one season
Yeah.
and then they never adapt.
But I hear podcasts where people say, don't worry, just don't get stressed. And I'll be like, how, dude? I'm getting stressed. Like, how can I not get stressed? But now I've come to the point where it's like, it's really not that deep. Because if you know what you're making is the best that it can be, why are you stressing?
This is something that's
Why are you
interesting.
That's so good advice.
It ties into like why you're making the videos. Like if this podcast got 5,000 views for the next year, would you keep making it?
Yeah, because
Interesting.
technically, the only nuance here is that to the point of views,
Mhm.
the quality of guests that you can get on typically does
Yeah.
correlate to
Yeah.
how many views you're getting. And so, luckily for me, I choose to not have famous, popular people
Yeah.
on this podcast because I like meeting people like you in the trenches, like getting success, doing
Yeah.
the
That's a
ads.
big thing
and
with
then making
podcasts.
this selfishly.
Yeah.
Like I had you guys on here because I run a media company and
Yeah.
I just want to learn how I can do it, and I'm just stealing all these ideas, and so
Yeah.
I get like a free course out of this,
Yeah.
right? And same with every one of my guests, not like that maliciously, but like that's what I can
Yeah.
do.
A lot
Like,
of
I can
podcasts
ask
do that,
questions
though.
I need help with.
They get like
and it
big
helps me.
people, and
So
then
that's
when
why
they
I
don't,
would say yes.
yeah.
Still,
Interesting.
A lot of podcasts will get like big guests, and then when they don't have the big guests, it completely falls off because people are reliant on the big guests.
Also,
so
yeah,
what
when
you
I-
do is perfect.